Hello folks, welcome to another edition of Cheap Recipes this time. Today I've got something that I like to do near the end of the week before we go shopping. Basically with any of the leftovers we have. It's kind of Italianish chicken I do. That's good for going in wraps or with some pasta. Today we're having it with wraps. So yeah. Right, first of all you need for this is a nice glass or a jug. My jug is currently in the washing up, so I'll go for the glass today. You'll need one chicken stock cube, and the glass, some why is my brain gone blank? Some tomato puree, that's the word I was looking for. The tomato puree, I'm going to stick a good tablespoon in there of it. There we go. And you stock cube and your tomato puree. Your garlic salt next. You want to stick a good teaspoon of that in. I find what this does is when you stick the hot water on this now, it kind of reinvigorates the garlic as well. Don't want much hot water. The boiled kettle here. You just want to like stick enough on there just so it all nicely melts. If you can hear munching in the background, that is of course Buzz, the cheap munch dog. I know he's eating his own food today, not anything I've left over. Right, so I'll give this a good mix around, make sure the stock cube gets all nice and melted. Let me show them out the kitchen in a minute. There you go, Buzz. And just tidy up a bit. Get out of the way. As usual, I use this because this bag is absolutely amazing. Usually does about 3 meals for me and my fiance. Just need to open that. You get the pan there. If it's 2 people, you're going to have like 2 wraps each, so you want 1, 2 and 3 good handfuls of the chicken in there. So that is exactly 1/3 of a bag of this in there. And there we go, that's all nice and melted into there now folks. Oh, you can smell the tomato and garlic brilliant in there. And oregano now, or oregano. I love the smell of this herb. You want a good teaspoon of that in there. Now you don't see me measure out much, but I basically know the measurements of everything now because I've been doing it for so long. And so that's that done. That's that still amalgamate in a minute. We're done with the tomato puree. Now for some extra flavour, as usual with us, we've got some leftover bacon. There's 4 nice rashers here. And this, so I can cut it up into nice strips. roughly the same size. Keep them all together and mix them nice and equal. And you cut them out. So there's your bacon. That goes in with the chicken. And your mushrooms. You stalk them. Stalk them down a dark alleyway. No, just de-stalk them. Now, I quite like a lot of mushrooms, and so does my fiance. So it's up to you. You can either half the amount of mushrooms that go in, perhaps stick some onions in. If you like onions, or you can, totally swap over for onions if you want, depending on what kind you like. So I generally like to keep everything right about the same size. So that's about the same size as the bacons. That goes in. So if my arm's getting in the way there a bit, folks. And that's mushroom. There we go. And the stalks, just generally half them. There we go. And now with the mixture, do one last. That's right, get everything up from the bottom. A spoon, a nice tap so you get everything off there. And you just give that a nice little tip over everything. Now, the chicken, because it's frozen, and the mushrooms, that they're going to give off quite a bit of water themselves. So you don't have to be too worried about liquid. Even though for this mixture you do want it to be a little bit dry, because you're sticking it into wraps, then you use too wet of a mixture, it's going to make kind of a sloppy mess with the wraps. And that's all nice and mixed together now. And you stick this on your stove top on an electric cooker. I usually stick it on about 3. Let me just put some of this in the washing up a minute. Yeah, so you just stick that on about 3 on an electric cooker, or about halfway on a gas. And I'll let that cook away now, and I shall show you the finished product once it's done, and once I've cleaned up all this. I shall see you in a minute. Hello folks. Well, you've asked for me to show you what it looks like afterwards quite a bit, so in these new videos I'm going to there we go. That is the final product cooked. Like I said, that's nice with a bit of pasta, or as I'm going to do now, some wraps for me and my fiance. Hope you enjoyed this episode, and I shall see you guys on either the next Cheap Munch, Lads Lounge, or Cheap Recipe. Goodbye.